welcome back, everyone. I believe we're taking a look at the watch party over in London, and there's a cheer off. Don't know if it's going to happen now. Yeah. I think the Fnatic fans are closer to the mic, closer to the camera. Hey, hello, everyone. I hope you're having fun over there. It looks fun, at least. If I was a Fnatic fan, I wouldn't be having that much fun. I'd be really stressed. We're going to cover the picks and bans on the desk. Match point for XL for a chance to play Misfits, for a chance to stay in the race for Worlds and for the finals here. Talk to me about the key picks so far in the meta that we've seen in this match.
I mean, it's very obvious, right? Sejuani, Yuumi, Nilla for the side of XL. I think Nilla was a little bit of an icebreaker, if you will, and you need to take it into consideration going forward in the draft, whether you want to ban it or not. First game was a big thorn for Fnatic. Second game, they banned it away. They still couldn't deal with the Sivir because the other two problems were still there. The Sejuani, the Yuumi were still on the side of XL. And I feel like the Lucian here, I have it as a problem for Fnatic. I don't necessarily have it as a pick to watch. I have it as a pick to watch and throw it out the window. Okay. Because I feel like they haven't been able to snowball that bot lane, upset in Hylissang, and it really hinders the fact that Hylissang is on that Nami, creating that Nami-Lucian combo. The fact that the guy is not on something that he can engage on, not on a Pyke, not on a Rakan. I feel like this bot lane is missing that oomph that Hylissang does give when he has this champion in his hands.
The big thing for me is that Fnatic actually invested 3 bans into the AD carry. They locked in Lucian first pick, which is a strong AD carry champion, into the scaling Sivir Yuumi, and they still were not winning bot lane. Like, if you do literally everything in draft to get your bot lane a winning position and they still mess it up, you need to change it. And if they lock in Lucian Nami again, I'm going to do what I think most Fnatic fans want to. I'm just going to rage quit right now. I'm out of here.
Let me ask you then, is it only the fault of the bot lane? Or is it also then the fault of, well, we saw a 5-man bot twice in a row for XL, but we didn't see them, Fnatic down there?
Yeah, I think you cannot blame it entirely on Hyli and Upset, because it's not all up to them. League of Legends is a team game, and we saw it from XL this game. Finn sacking a top wave to roam bot from base and got XL a double kill, which started the snowball. We need to see the top side of Fnatic. We need to see Humanoid, Razork, Wunder actually set up this bot lane, enable them to play aggressive, because we know Upset and Hyli can do it. They've shown it time and time again. They are a strong bot lane, but they haven't been able to contest so far for different reasons.
And 100% I agree. Upset and Hylissang have not been playing bad. I just think Patrik and Mikyx have been on another level. And especially when you've been set up by your team, getting that 5-man bot lane in game 1 and game 2, then getting that snowball, getting that gold onto Patrik. We've seen it the entire season. XL are more than happy to invest their entire map into Patrik, and then Patrik will give them the W in return.
And the Sejuani is also really, really good. I think sometimes it flies under the radar because it's kind of a normal jungle pick, but I feel like it's been paying dividends in the way these teams have been prioritizing their roams towards bot. We'll find out if they pick it in just a second. Time for our draft.
And as we're going into draft for Fnatic versus XL, game 3, 2-0 already for XL. I don't want to see no salty runbacks like we did last playoff with Twisted Fate back to back to back. I don't want to see Lucian again, Broxah back to back to back. I think there needs to be a different strat. They tried it already twice. It has not worked for them. You go towards something completely different. 2 bans already on the side of Fnatic. Let's see if that Nilla also gets banned out here. Because depending if the Nilla is banned out or not, then I'm expecting XL to also leave Sivir up again.
So far, the draft is exactly what we saw in the previous one. Same 3 bans from Fnatic, same 2 from XL. If they lock in on as the last one, there we go. So far, same ban. Fnatic, they decided to adapt. The cat was a big problem. Take it away. I like it, even though Hyli is not on the playmaker.
Broxah, you said at the top of the day, the only way I want to see Yuumi play by Fnatic is if there's a Garen with it.
Yeah,
Do you stand by
I mean,
that?
if they go Garen, Yuumi right now for the world spot, last chance, I mean, I think we all want to see that.
Okay, I'm excluded from the Garen Yuumi train right here. I'd like to see potentially something like a Twitch, maybe, coming out from upset, a hyperscaling carry towards that late game, playing that Yuumi and Twitch. You can actually go towards mid lane, get these early cheeky ganks with invisibility as well. And honestly, it fits upset's playstyle so much because Fnatic do rely on these late game team fights and that hyperscaling from their bot lane to explode in these
10
team
points
fights.
for George.
Yeah, nice prediction. I'm expecting this. Oh, I was actually thinking this was probably going to be either a Poppy or a Trundle because both of them are available and Fnatic, or not Fnatic, Excel can now ban one of them in the second phase, already having Sejuani locked in. We see the Sylas, which makes sense, it's a good pick into Sejuani, and if they don't pick it now, it's something Excel will abandon in the second phase.
Now we know that Mikyx has a huge champion pool, but something that was played in the LPL by Lehens himself was the Singed into the Yuumi, a big counter pick. But they're actually going to choose to go with the same sentiment that we've seen the entire game. It's the Enchanter together with the Hyper Carry. We mentioned how these two carries for both of these teams are so integral, and so far they both have their Enchanters, they both have their frontliners, and now I'm looking to see what could Wunder add here, because I feel like his Shyvana was very fitting in the last fight. He was really useful, he was finding the targets in the back line, so I feel like maybe you could run it back.
I see a lot of smiles though. That's good to see at least.
Yeah, worth noting that the Fnatic players are actually smiling, actually having a good time up there on stage. Being in this position, it can be easy to, you know, just let the mood drag down and spread negativity, but they're keeping the mood up, and I think they're still going to have a good chance. Now we see from Excel banning Jarvan and Trundle, which makes sense. Trundle, incredibly strong into Sejuani, Jarvan is great into Sivir, and all in all, Fnatic can now still get a solid jungle pick. It could be the Poppy, but they could also change it up if they would like.
I'd like to see a different champion here. I think the more targets that you have when you have Yuumi on the map, the better it is for your team. Even something like a Viego, for example, for Razork, which is something that he has spotted over in spring and summer too, could be something that we're looking forward here. Chucking that Yuumi on top of a Viego or anything that can carry through the jungle as well could be so huge. Yuumi together with Shyvana, so annoying to play with as well, especially when Shyvana dives the backline. This could create so many problems though, because if you do lock this in, it was played over in the LPL by Tian as well.
And
it was played
they won?
yesterday, by Jankos too, if I'm not wrong. And this sort of splits up what Fnatic might want to do, which is like split up the fight with the big carries in the front line and keeping your Twitch alive in the back.
It's just a team fighting comp once again from Excel. Like Nocturne, he barely has to do anything other than press the R button, make everything dark, and all of them. Well, we'll see. But once Nocturne makes the map dark, it's just going to be so hard for Fnatic to actually make those outplays in team fights. Gragas, obviously, great pick from Wunder, something he has shown to be proficient on time and time again, and it's also a good match against Sejuani.
You wanted Wunder to get even more agency, right?
Yes.
Are you happy with his Gragas?
Yes, his Gragas is, I think, his best performing champion by far. It's his niche pick, it's the thing that he shines on. Razork for the third time in a row on a Poppy. I mean, it is a consistent pick for the jungle as well, but right now you have so much agency with reach in the backline, one cast lands, but looking over to Excel, there's a bunch of spell shields. There's a Sivir spell shield, there's a Nocturne spell shield, and when lights go down and you have something like a Kennen in the backline, you need to be very wary of your flanks if you're Fnatic.
Love this Kennen pick. I think this is really interesting because it just gives another carry threat on Excel's side, and especially when paired up with the Nocturne. You know, when the Kennen comes in, Fnatic might not even know it before it's too late, and Kennen is acing their backline. Another threat, beautiful.
Oh, I love the combo of the Nocturne and the Kennen.
The Nocturne pick is also interesting into Sylas, because there's no way that Fnatic actually expected that matchup. And it's just a free matchup for Nukeduck.
And Vedius is casting.
For sure, and honestly, I think the Sylas here has a bunch of value as well. Sejuani ult, Kennen ult, Nocturne ult. You have so many, even the Lulu ult as well, to stay alive in a fight or keep a member alive of your team as well. Yeah. I think he has a bunch of value. I think Humanoid has a lot of weight on his shoulders here. He needs to find these picks.
Yeah, Broxah, is it about, you know, to eliminate the threat when the Nocturne ult goes, just counter, go for it after?
Well, I think you just have to be mindful about it. If you get engaged on, you need to be careful, kite back and wait for the ult to time out. Or if you make you engage, make sure, you know, you stand your ground and everyone knows their job within the play. More than anything in this case, I want to see focus around the bot lane because we have two hyper-scaling bot lanes.
Such an exciting draft on both sides in this maybe the last game that we're going to see today between these two, but I want to see 5 games. These guys don't. They want Excel to go all the way, but the Fnatic faithful, of course, want them to keep going. Let's head over to our casters.
Nocturne mid, baby! Let's go! How do we deal with this?
Okay, Vedi. Let's see. Let's see what you know about Nocturne mid.
Okay.
How many times has Nocturne mid been played this summer?
How many times have been played this summer?
Yeah.
In which region?
Any of the top major regions.
Any of the top major regions? How many times has Nocturne mid been played in any of the major regions in mid lane?
That's what I'm asking.
7 times.
Nope.
No.
11 times.
Nope.
No.
17 times.
Nope.
No.
1 time.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, now give me the answer.
Well, obviously you just don't know. I
Is
don't
it
think
3?
It is 3.
Oh my god!
Guldborg knew.
So-
Doing B's played it 3 times. He's won twice, lost once.
I love doing B. And
Now-
now, Nukeduck is my next new favorite mid laner because he's playing Nocturne mid. So, Nocturne mid, why did it disappear and why did it become bad? Riot nerfed his passive. It was very sad.
Yeah, they saw you playing it so much. They're like, we gotta get rid of this.
Basically, what they did was they nerfed his passive. Well, it was mainly because he was very rampant in top lane, but his passive made his wave clear incredibly strong. So they nerfed the amount of damage that it does to minions, but then they buffed the amount of damage that it does to the minion that you target. So the minion hit will still take a lot of damage from the passive itself, but the minions around it will not. This was enough of a buff to bring him back, at least for some people. But
One person.
one person doing B. Let's have a look at what Upset is up to here.
Look for Patrik, gets behind him with the exhaust as well. Patrik's gonna be shielded up. Mikyx trying to put some damage back down, but Patrik's on the wrong side of this one. Hylissang burnt both his
Oh, this is crucial. Look at the positioning on the map as well. He's going to be forced to go the other way
Where are
around.
you going,
Razork's
Patrik?
on red buff.
What is happening right now?
Where are you going, Patrik? Where are you going? Where are you going, Patrik? Where are you going, Patrik? Nowhere to go. Razork catches him. Patrik dies.
Wow. Okay, that is massive for the bot lane of Fnatic. So it's crucial to remember that Patrik, by running the Ghost, you don't have the same defensive summoner spell like heal, barrier, exhaust. I mean, of course the Mickey does it, but ignite as well. Your trading power in lane is very weak. Whereas Twitch, early levels, you go invisible, you get that bonus attack speed. You have so much trading tool, especially when paired up with the Yuumi. Fnatic look to take advantage of that. They catch Patrik completely unawares, and now they get an assist early level 1. They're able to pick up a dagger on their first base, and Patrik has lost an entire first wave.
That's the thing, like Patrik had the experience of 1 minion when he went off there as well. So he's going back to this one from square one almost. Just does not have too much in the arsenal. The only thing that could have gone even worse there was the fact that Offset could have picked up a kill. Luckily he didn't. It's only the minion wave advantage you get. It's going to be a dagger. Nonetheless, Patrik, not going to be having a good time down here.
Well,
Does
so
still have the flash.
This is the first time this series that we've really seen Patrik put in this kind of a deficit this early on into the game, and a lot of credit needs to be given to the bot lane of Fnatic. Of course, we have not seen Hylissang play the Yuumi yet this split. Really good trade coming out from Finn on the top side of the map. Keep my eyes on the junglers. Markoon already making a beeline towards the top side. Likely just focused on the crab for now, as Razork will be there to offer protection in case of a die.
Dual wielding his jungle camps, and Scuttle will go over to Markoon, but I like the fact that Razork was so quick on his reset up towards the top side of the map again quickly. Flash of Razork, so no time to contest that one. And Markoon can go for the Crocs, can go immediately down towards the second Scuttle to see if he wants to secure that, but it's going to look to reset his own camps.
Some strong early start for Fnatic. About 400 gold ahead. Wave pushing in here means that Upset will have, we'll say, a 5 CS lead at the end of this, guesstimating. Saying about how many minions he's able to clear out underneath this tower.
The biggest thing, even though the gold doesn't look that dramatic, if you could bring up the XP bar for us, what you can see is how dramatic the difference is actually between the two AD carries. So you can see that right now, there is a 200 XP gap between Upset and Patrik. Patrik is at the bottom when it comes to XP in the entire game, and he's just had to base, which means that Upset is only going to catch this wave and further create that gap. So the first level 6, even the level 4, like all these things are going to be very significant when it comes to the trading in the bot lane 2 versus 2, and the only way you can really fix it is if Mikyx roams. Mikyx roaming, giving a lot of solo experience to Patrik to help him catch up in that XP department will be really important for him, but if you then leave Patrik alone, he's at risk of getting dived.
Yeah, okay, speaking of diving, Nukeduck pushing up Markoon in the background. Here's Razork.
Markoon's going to find Razork. Nukeduck gets the fear off. Razork looking at some damage, but the sun comes out and Markoon's on the chase. Razork has to flash away. Humanoid next on the menu. A single auto attack would get the stun off, but they can't quite land it. as Nukeduck and Markoon are able to force the Fnatic mid jungle duo away.
Yeah, and there you also have the potency you see from a Nocturne paired up with the Sejuani. The fact that you get that extra attack speed as well to boot up. Oh, the Sejuani passive really does help. And Humanoid might be in a position to get dove. Razork, he's already back. This is looking dire.
Humanoid still far away from level 6. Good flash though by Humanoid, gets him out. Obviously, he doesn't have that summoner, of course, for the next few minutes.
I love seeing Nocturne mid, man. It's so good to see it back. Nukeduck played that so well as well. The spell shield is so effective into Sylas too. You saw it just there. He was able to spell shield the W that came out from Humanoid, which you expect to be maxing in the early levels. It's a difficult thing to do, but when you spell shield it, he doesn't get all that health back. So when he expects to be able to dive back in and out-trade you, Nocturne can just tank it up, get the fear on you, and then you basically get find yourself in a very difficult position.
But surely, Vedi, this is not going to be too much about the mid lane when you have this Nocturne. When he hits level 6, we've already seen the bot lane shenanigans we've had so far. Surely we're looking to see Twitch get punished as well as soon as that level 6 comes through.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I am a little surprised that Humanoid was actually able to steal this away. Again, one of the great things about the spell shield, dive in the bot side of the map. Mikyx is very low on health. Upset, very good damage on Patrik.
Patrik pops the ghost, was back off cooldown, so will just be forced away. Markoon came in from the side. And the reason Fnatic could try and set this up was they had a control ward and a ward over at the Grump that spotted Markoon leaving the area. So Razork could look for something. Meanwhile, Humanoid trading in the mid lane here. The fear's going to come down. A couple of auto attacks coming out from Nukeduck. Sitting on that Dustbringer gives you a bit of extra AED. Helps him out a little bit.
A lot of it. A max level that gives you 60, which will be around level 9, which is the equivalent of a BF sword and a long sword, and a bit more. It's a lot. But Humanoid playing around the spell shield very well in terms of the 1v1. We can see Markoon hovering around the mid lane for now. Gonna escort Nukeduck out of lane. He is, of course, level 6, and this could be the first roam of the map. Looks like for now they're just gonna give him the plant. And Upset gonna play defensively, respects the roam, will choose to back away. Fnatic, though, finding themselves with an early lead. Definitely a bit of a difference compared to what we've seen so far in this series.
And if there's one thing you've ever hated if you played against a Twitch yourself, it's obviously that fast Blade of the Rune King rush. Yeah. Like in the past, there's like, okay, he needs 2 items, right? The Runan and maybe some Mythics as well coming through back in the day when Mythics didn't exist either. But nowadays, it's just as soon as you finish that Blade of the Rune King, you're a menace to be dealt with. Nukeduck.
There's a spell shield. Razork going to stun into the wall, can't quite land it.
But he is just smiling next to me as this is happening.
Beautiful. It's just exquisite Nocturne play. It's just, it's one of those things where the good Nocturne players know what skills to spell shield. If you just throw it out, then you can get punished. But he knew that the thing he had to be careful of was the E, able to spell shield it, walk away.
He knew he had to be careful of the stun in the kit.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone does, and it varies depending on the situation, Fnatic.
Here's another stun.
Slicing Master coming out, Finn looking for the damage here onto Wunder. Markoon in the area as well, knocked back there from Wunder, but even with his flash, he hasn't really got anywhere to go. He realizes it. Finn will be gifted the kill. First blood for XL this game.
And great, productivity still in the way of XL here. They find the pickup on the top lane where so far all the actions have been on the bot side. But now speaking of rotations as well, XL, they move their bot lane into the mid lane instead. They gain that priority, move Nukeduck down towards the bot lane. He's picking up the wave, and in turn, they're just securing this Rift Herald for themselves. Right now, the Drake is too tanky for the bot lane to solo up. This should just be the objective, I say. Going over to XL.
That was very short. That's a perfectly long keeper's verdict. Nothing Markoon here able to jump out of the back of the pit. Took away the eye of the hell.
Naughty. Now, let's have a look at what happens off the back of that. They've actually rotated Upset towards the mid lane. He's going to catch that wave. No contest on that Herald. And we can see Nukeduck actually going to secure himself the blue buff. I mean, the advantages, of course, Nukeduck playing both the jungler and a mid laner. No, Markoon, you're not going to come and take this, are you?
No, you were just giving me a helping hand, man. Give me a helping hand. And XL have been able to equalize that gold deficit, in fact, gain themselves a small advance, about 300 gold ahead. Obviously, they still have the Rift Herald, and they're trying to lock down Wunder down towards his bottom side. But here, he still has the flash, the explosive cask, about a quarter of its cooldown left for him.
Interesting, we haven't seen Duinby actually go for an early tier, going for more of the scaling Nocturne build, but it seems that Nukeduck just prioritizing getting that early, what I imagine to be Stride Breaker. We'll see what direction he goes in for. But both bot laners now find themselves in mid lane. A very early rotation. Not something we've really seen at all so far this series. A lot of focus has been set up on actually enabling Patrik, trying to play through him. A lot of action. We've seen dives, we've seen fights, we've seen TPs. But this game, they're just like, nope, we're just going to move our bot laners into mid. and try and funnel some golden.
It's not just that. Finn was just in the mid lane early as well. Then the bot lane was top. Now they're moving down towards the bot side. Or actually moving up towards the top side here. Because Humanoid is alone here. There is a cross map you can have with the Drake, but they want to just get this Rift Herald active potentially.
I really love this from XL though, because what they're doing by moving Sivir and Yuumi, Lulu around so much is they're making sure they don't match up into Upset and Hylissang. And Upset and Hylissang have been winning those 2v2s. Every time Upset and Hylissang come to the wave, they move away. They're like, okay, cool, you're trying to join us? Sweet, we'll go somewhere else. We get a plate in the mid lane, we get a plate in the top lane, we put the Rift Herald down, and as soon as they start to see Fnatic funneling in here, I expect XL will look to back away. Razork, though, has got a good flank position, and the TPs are coming in. Markoon's getting a knockback. Paranoia taken away as they look for the engage. The slicing Maelstrom, though, doing a lot of work. Mikyx and Patrik trying to back away. The flash is out, and XL will disengage.
It's a good ultimate from Nukeduck as well. He was not there to join the fight, but he made sure that the rest of them couldn't just open up. Nocturne into the Twitch as well means that whenever Twitch get that long range, when the Paranoia is active, he can't see that far, and you don't get the full value of that ultimate. So it's a really ingenious counterpick in that sense as well. They disengage the play, they force the TP, they get the plates, and they get the push in mid. So XL, brilliant macro play.
And just to demonstrate how important this has been for Patrik, he is 23 CS behind, but even on goal, because he's been picking up these plates in the lanes. Yes, obviously you want him to get as much CS as possible, but if you can't get him CS because he's losing the 2v2, get him around the map and get himself some plates.
Yeah, he is being funneled a lot of gold right now. Of course, the XP department is still pretty much a whole level behind. Next to our icons, you can see these small pink bars.
Not anymore.
Then also bringing up the XP per level. You can see that Patrik no longer last place. Ooh, he's moved up to 8th place right now. Slowly catching up to Upset, but still a little bit behind. But these little pink bars you can see next to the champions icons, these are indicators of how close the champions are to their next level. You can see Finn very close to getting level 10, Markoon about halfway, and Patrik very shortly should be getting level 7 as Markoon shows his presence there in the mid lane.
It's interesting to see where they put their priority, right? On XL, they continue to move up towards the top side of the map, or at least with Markoon being there over just a minute ago, and Razork keeps being on the bot side instead. Upset does have that Blade of the Ruined King. He's got a slow active Mikyx. Might be dangerous.
We'll have the polymorph, I think. Actually, Mikyx used it. It's 2 seconds before it's off cooldown. TP coming in towards the mid lane. Mikyx has the flash. That was just greedy for Mikyx. No polymorph, no wild growth. He shouldn't be in that situation.
And that's the Blade of the Ruined King itemization, or item spike that we talked about there. When you get this slow, your damage will just be there. And when you have the cat on top of you, it's a classic Tom and Jerry.
Exactly that. Good play from Fnatic. Small offs from the crowd. Good one, GB.
We take those.
See what Tom and Jerry can do this game. Upset slowly ramping up. Doesn't have a significant gold advantage, but we talked about the XP lead that he does have, and I think the most important thing for Upset is he hasn't been shut down. So far this series, he's had a lot of Lucian games, and his damage has been good, but it's not been enough to carry. However, Twitch, everyone here has experienced it in a solo queue game. That game where you're 10k gold up, the enemy mid laner, the enemy top lane, enemy jungle doesn't get to play, but that Twitch, that goddamn Twitch, has still been able to win the game.
Making some forward here. Final chapter coming out. Wild growth used as well. Cleanse. And there's the first kill of the game for Upset. 1-0-1 now on the Twitch. Mikyx once again just a bit out of position.
And they make it look easy. They got Mikyx's flash earlier on. They had the wave stacking up towards top. Razork simply pathed his way up there. Humanoid also hovering around. And Nukeduck's ultimate was not enough to help keep them.
Fancy there from Wunder, but still just going to be an even trade down towards this bottom side. Oh, maybe not as even afterwards. Stun coming out.
Hey, Wunder could definitely re-engage on this. He has the flash. He's looking for it. Yeah, and Finn's
Finn
gonna
knows. Let me step up. Just never mind.
We all could see the kill pressure that Wunder had there. EW into Q definitely would have been a kill, so he's going to be forced to disengage off that. Wunder likely going to secure himself another plate. Not sure he'll be able to get much more off the back of it, especially with Markoon pathing. Or he's actually going to path towards the top side. But Fnatic in a commanding position right now. The goal difference doesn't look that dramatic, but they are getting plates on the board. They are denying farm from their opposition, and overall, this early game is looking solid.
Yeah, and now Wunder with this priority he's gained in the top side, he might just be able to move that up towards the top side instead, where they can set up for the Rift Herald, because that seems like that has just been the point of attack this game. It will spawn in 30 seconds, and every time we've seen XL hover, every time we've seen them put their bot lane on the map, it's actually not been in the mid lane, it's been up towards the top side.
Kraken Slayer now complete for Patrik, gets his Mythic, still well behind Upset in terms of that itemization, but Fnatic have a relatively strong start to this game, and relatively strong start to what would need to be a 3-game sweep for them. Currently sitting 0-2 down. Their hopes at Worlds, the hopes of any continuation of playoffs on the line in this game. XL, if they win this, would only have to go through Misfits to make it to Worlds for the first time ever.
That would be huge for that organization as well, and specifically considering the fact that you'd be knocking out Fnatic, which, you know, always been a name synonymous from the European region going towards that world. So now, trading objectives, Fnatic, starting up that Drake instead on the top side. Markoon and the rest of XL will be prioritizing that Herald as we already spoke about. So both teams currently happy with this one. First turret still to go down, unless Wunder is clapping away the bot side turret, but Nukeduck also with a potential first blood turret on the top side if he gets it, and it looks to be he will be the one taking it.
Level 11 now on Nukeduck. Dramatic cooldown reduction on the ultimate means he's going to have that one up available way more often.
I was waiting for the next Nocturne.
Yeah. Do you know that specific one as well?
The cooldown of your ultimate at level 11.
Sorry, I expected too much.
I think it's like
I'm going to say 90
seconds.
seconds. I'm going to say 90. That's my
Something
guess.
like that.
140, 115, 90 as level 3. So it's 115 right now. Obviously has some ability haste as well, so we'll reduce it. Keeper's Verdict going down. Markoon locked up with the Glacial Prison. The chase is on. The final chapter coming out. Upset trying to get in behind them, but Nukeduck now spots him. The fear onto Upset. The jump across the Paranoia coming out. Upset feared away from the fight and really now has to look for the re-engage. Nukeduck low flashes. Dustbringer with a bit of movement speed for him as well. Huge. From Markoon. What is the flank situation? It doesn't matter. Upset with cyanide in his veins takes the kill. Poisons Nukeduck.
Really good play from Fnatic overall. They punished the over-aggression there from XL. And they're able to get more kills onto Upset, the person that you need those kills on.
What?
Whoa, hang on, I missed that.
That's the Rift Herald just charging in, takes the inhibitor tower.
We were so focused on the fight, we didn't see what was happening on the map. Of course, Humanoid going to be the benefactor of all these creeps, but Fnatic, they changed the game plan up. They secured themselves the Yuumi, and they got themselves the Twitch early on in the draft, and so far they've been making it work beautifully. The big question is, how hard can Upset carry? So here we see Hylissang and Humanoid looking for the engage, and XL trying to respond.
Yeah, and there you see it. They wheeled it up here. They just feel like they're going to get disengaged on with Humanoid, but the stolen Sejuani ultimate sets it up perfectly. And the big one really here is Upset. I really like how you phrase this. Can Upset carry? Because he has been the big difference maker in this game. The level 1 ingenuity, the threat you now see in a fight instead. He's the one really making XL sweat for it this time around.
Really good job there by Upset. Of course, you can see that range indicator on the poison, and the control ward helped give him information on where Nukeduck was, so he was able to get that last tick off. Another kill goes into his back pocket. Now
Finn on the flank, slicing mouse from Upset has nothing to get out of this. The cleanse not enough. Knocked back with the Keeper's Verdict, but a stun into a fear, into another stun comes out. Great cast from Wunder, disengages the fight, but Razork walking wounded back to his base. Gonna need some CPR to get out of this one.
Yeah, 5 versus 4 situation. XL, they managed to find a play out of nowhere again. They just dive them under the turret. They get the kill. They get the mid lane turret. Humanoid on the top side, not in a position to respond. And just great response to XL after Fnatic dominated them. Well, at least got a victory on the top side fight earlier.
Finn was quiet in game 1, but his Kled definitely came alive in game 2, and now he's looking to do the same thing on the Kennen here in game 3. That's going to be the biggest problem that Upset has to deal with. Hylissang's exhaust and Upset's cleanse are going to need to be alive to get away from Finn, and these flash timers are things you're going to have to track, because I've spoken to a number of Kennen players throughout the years, and I'm telling you right now, the most important thing that they think about is who has flash and when is my flash up, because those will be the deciding factors on whether or not they can make the team fight win for them.
Big one as well is the exhaust coming through from Yuumi. That's the one you want to save for the Kennen as well, diving into your face. But I think we've had a Kennen playing on us before, right? But now you have a Nocturne on the team. You can start the Nocturne ultimate, TP, and not be aware of where that Kennen is going to be coming from. The setup from XL, I think, is something we really have to pay close attention to when we are gearing towards the objectives. And we are leading up towards an Infernal Drake. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds, although the Drake timers have been really slow today, or at least in this game.
You definitely hit the nail on the head there. We didn't talk about it much, but this Nocturne Kennen, it has been seen over in the LPL. Its team fighting prowess is extremely terrifying. And you really summarized it beautifully, Guldborg, because it's something that we haven't gotten to see a lot here in Europe, but I'm super excited to see it play out. We'll see how well Fnatic can deal with it. And keep in mind as well, Mikhail's Crucible actually coming out for Mikyx as the first item.
I think that's just crucial as well when you take a look into the CC that can get applied onto you. That's the stolen ultimates that of course Humanoid can apply, because we see one Kennen ultimate, right? But there's Sejuani, there's a stolen Kennen ultimate as well. Humanoid can be that flank taken into consideration too.
And the final chapter as well for that route.
Fun Nocturne fact number 99.
Oh,
you got to be really careful as a Sylas trying to steal away a Nocturne ultimate, because he can spell shield it, and then it will go on cooldown, and then you are a sad Sylas.
It's a good one. We'll keep our eyes like oranges for that one.
Peeled. Go on, Medic.
Thanks, man.
Dragon now up in
You've been
20
working with me
seconds.
too long that you got that immediately.
Nukeduck is in the top lane. Almost called him Nocturne. Nukeduck is in the top lane. Does have the TP, and he has the bot wave that he can teleport onto. Fnatic have control over the mid right now. Upset gonna walk up, push that one in. And this should be one of the big fights of the game, unless XL want to concede it, considering the control Fnatic has.
9 seconds away. 7-6, 5-4. Just showing you I can count as it comes back off cooldown. And now XL. Second to the play here in the river. They have that one ward. They will know that Fnatic have started this. Finn, no flash on him. Does have the Hextech Rocket Belt and a Slicing Maelstrom as a possibility. I don't think there's a Blast Cone there for him. Fnatic, they're like, okay, Finn could be
like,
here.
where is
Let's
Finn?
make sure we know that he's there. Nukeduck still pushing in that top lane, though. I think XL will just give this one up.
Yep.
Markoon might step forward. Looks for the smite, doesn't land it. This time, it goes over to Razork. Paranoia used. That's Nukeduck's, I believe.
Yeah.
As he just used it from the top lane to allow XL to disengage.
But I do like the idea here. They wanted to just be able to smite away the Drake, and then Nukeduck trying to take the top lane inhibitor, albeit quite early still in the game. And I think it was just like, can we get it right? Smite, let's get out. And if not, well, then at least we tried.
Yeah, it looks like the main game plan there from XL was not to overcommit to the objective. They don't want to run the risk of forcing a fight right now. They are afraid of how strong Fnatic is. So instead, they're going to wait a little bit longer for these further items to come through.
Oh, cool, but can you just read that red number between Twitch and Sivir on the screen for me?
That is 1.1k.
Yeah, Patrik's pretty strong. He's at 2 items. After being put so far behind in the early game, XL have funneled him so well. He now has Phantom Dancer and Kraken before the second item from the Twitch, before the mythic from the Twitch. Now, he did buy a Cull, obviously 300 extra gold for you, but XL have done a very good job of stabilizing the weakness they had in the early game and putting Patrik once again on a platform to carry these later game fights.
Felt like being back in high school there. You've not been paying attention in class. The teacher
I
just asked you a question
really
randomly.
hoping that 1.1 wasn't like out of your comprehension.
You expect too much of me.
Sorry, Mikkel.
Keeping my eyes on the mini-map, of course. Twitch, one of the scariest things about it is it used to be known as the submarine, remember? Where it could come out of nowhere. Yeah. The Shen Twitch combo, of course, with Yuumi, it can be just as scary. Here comes Upset.
Looking for it. Final chapter coming out. Patch is going to be rooted up, but immediately the Mikhail's coming out, and now look at him stepping forward because of the paranoia. Upset went too deep, and XL pounce once again. Their collapse, just absolutely beautiful. Humanoid now trying to get away with the other flash. Finn with the flank, the slicing mouse from Humanoid down. Wunder tries to flash away. The blasting barrel will push him back, and that's another for XL. Fnatic went too deep, and XL just clapped them.
This game lived or died for Fnatic by Upset here, and he decided to face check it while the paranoia was active. They had the ping ward in the bush, but Nukeduck immediately went for a blackout there.
Razork looking for the chase here. Hylissang there as well. Mikyx coming in from the side. Razork still with the damage, with the dustbing and movement. The movement speed for Mikyx as well. Gets Nukeduck out. Baron started by XL. Razork, no flash. No Hex Flash, of course, as well. He's going to be body blocked. He's going to be marked by Mikyx and by Finn. Razork can look for Mikyx here. The hammer comes down. He'll get one. Hylissang will fall as well. TP coming in. Finn, you need to get back in the pick. Take the blast cone or something. Pops it. It keeps Razork away. Markoon jumps across. He knows if Razork's not in the pit, there's no smite there, but Razork's still on the chase. Trying to do everything he can to deny these Barons off of XL. That's 3. Razork with a triple. 1 recall will come through. Nukeduck, where you going to go? You got flash.
Paranoia in 2 seconds. Let's see if he can use that to get away.
Humanoid has Kennen ult.
Paranoia. Everybody's coming to get you. Nukeduck dies. 4 kills over to Fnatic. They wiped the Baron away.
I mean, it's definitely the best case scenario for Fnatic. Considering they just lost the fight, they picked up a lot of shutdowns and they denied a number of Barons, but Patrik still walks away with the Baron buff and XL still walk away the victors.
Look at this fight. This is going to be crucial, okay? So they believe they have vision because of that pink ward in there, okay? So they place another one when the fight comes out. Immediately the paranoia is there. That means you have no vision in the bush whatsoever. So as soon as he flashes over, well, Nukeduck is still attached to him with the ultimate, and because of that, he's not allowed to stay alive. The rest of the fight, then of course, Finn comes around for the flank, he splits them all apart, and XL, they take the team fight.
Wow, great team fight coming in from XL. Kind of had flashbacks of Reckless 2017 on the Twitch against Immortals. He tried to make a play and everything fell apart. It could be history repeating itself for Fnatic.
Razork, though.
Yeah, doing everything that he can.
Afterwards, yep.
Doing a really great job, and he kind of set up the play for Fnatic to be able to get a number of kills back.
Fnatic push.
Markoon checks it with the play of the Northern Winds. They will back away. Obviously, Patrik, the only one with the Baron buff. Nukeduck pushing in the mid lane.
The other important thing to note is that Finn and Upset's flash cooldowns are basically the same now. Upset's will come up a little bit sooner, but when Finn has flash, Upset has flash. And that's some good news for Upset at the very least. But it's something that he will have to keep track of, because if that flash gets burnt early, you know that Finn is going to be hunted.
Might be a little window because of the Cosmic Insight when Finn has first strike. Don't know what the secondary rune is actually of Upset, but that might give you like a 10-second, 50-second window as well to move in between. Now Drake will spawn in 30 seconds time, and Cosmic Insight as well, yeah, so it was identical coming through. Makes sense. Vision control around the river area in favor of Excel, so Fnatic, they need to clear this out.
And it feels like for XL, one fight locks you into round 2. One fight locks you into that fight against Misfits for the final spot at Worlds. Fnatic, one fight could be everything. Like, one fight could be your end of your year. It's August and you're done. You don't get to Worlds, you do not pass go, you do not collect any opportunity to redeem yourselves.
Here we go. The dragon has been started. Information. They do not see the Kennen.
Blast Cone is
They
there.
do not know.
Blast Cone is there. Upset doesn't have flash.
Does Finn see Upset? I think he does.
Finn looking for it. Blast Cone. Humanoid standing there as well. Patrik pushing in the mid lane. They'll give it up. They want Patrik on the inhibitor tower instead. They might try and stop the ports. The back's coming out, but Patrik's already taken half that tower's health.
I mean, this is a team already in the series that have been willing to give up the Ocean Soul for the Baron itself. So giving up that one Cloud Drake here for the inhibitor turret in the mid lane, surely something they'll be happy about. And still,
look at Wunder. Look at Wunder, he's looking for this flank on a control wall.
Spotted on Vision, Finn is
He's going all the way, he's been spotted and Finn is there, and Wunder's in the midst of 5. Wunder dodges away from the Glacial Pism, but there's nowhere for him to go. XL get another.
He thought he had the flank, but it was really XL with the intel all along, and they just scatter around him and they completely demolish him as he tries to come in for that flank. Wunder, you can see they're desperate. They're looking for plays somehow, because this game is running away from them, and XL on the cusp of making it forward in playoffs.
And the polymorph from Mickey was just so good there. Prevented Wunder from even having an opportunity to make a turnaround play. That will be 2 exposed inhibitors now. XL find themselves with a 4.5k gold lead, 3 of which sits in the pocket of Patrik. 3 items fully completed. He has the components of his GA, which he is not expending right now, so that he still has that stopwatch available. XL is in a commanding position. The only saving grace for Fnatic is this Dragon Soul, and even that, I don't know if it's enough, even with a Cloud Soul, to be able to turn this game around. It's going to come down to some miracle performances from Upset.
Last year it felt weird not having G2 moving forward towards Worlds. This year it might just be Fnatic not joining us towards that right. We have 4 seeds. This would have been one of the easiest time making the tournament, and how incredible would it be, or unbelievable would it be, to see this roster not be making it.
4 seeds, and the 2 seeds, 2 teams hailed as super teams coming into the year might not go to Worlds. Vitality are already out. Fnatic, if they lose this, are out as well. Imagine Perks and Hylissang not making it to Worlds. Imagine like Wunder not making it to Worlds. Upset again, not being able to go there and show that he can fight with the best. And XL constantly this series have just been the better match, just being the better team when it comes to coordinated map play.
Conversely, yeah, XL having the opportunity to go to the World Championship for the first time. Nukeduck returning to the world stage after, I think his last appearance was 2013.
Lemon Dogs.
Yeah. It was Lemon Dogs where he first met FLICKR. The famous Swain versus Ari. We see a pick on the bot lane.
Coming out for a good stopwatch, and Razork was in the area. Hylissang there as well. Good stun. Will slow them down. Humanoid looking for the counter slicing mouse. So final chapter coming out. The root's gonna land. And now XL have to all come down towards this bottom side to try and protect Nukeduck, but they cannot do it. Nukeduck down. Fnatic find a pick.
Overcommitment for XL. They did not have the information to go for that play, and the rest of Fnatic are ready to answer. But what can they get off this? Maybe the bot lane turret, maybe moving further, but there's not many objectives to take in.
XL, they're making smart map moves right now. They're saying, hey, we're happily trading inhibitor for our bot tier 2. If you want to push for it, then be my guest. But look, they're immediately going to back off. XL, they're making their way towards the inhibitor. It looks like that Fnatic is going to have to give this one off, but Wunder has made it back.
He was Wunder gets the knockback. Wunder has retreated, as you say, so is Razork. Humanoid looking for a flank position here. Fnatic being caught out by this once before, and that control ward is still there. Humanoid on the chase. Mikyx trying to get out of this as well, but he's exhausted immediately. TP coming in for Finn. Humanoid's already down! Patrik just slices them up with the boomerangs. Mikyx gonna fall though with the rat attack. The spray and pray coming out. Patrik walks away. Markoon trying to retreat as well, but the poison is ticking. And that arsenic Patrik will burn through Markoon.
TP!
Stopwatch coming out. TP coming as well as Nukeduck looks to get up to that back line. Dives onto Upset. One down. Patrik continues to just dish out the damage with boomerang after boomerang. And Patrik is just unkillable.
He gets the
With
stun.
the flash stun. From long range, he finds the Shuriken. Razork gets the stun into the wall, but Razork, you have to feel what for. Patrik still has the GA. Hylissang will die. XL will wipe them up. Do they look for the Baron or the win?
And XL will wipe Fnatic off the map. Humanoid will be respawning soon, but those are long death timers. I don't think XL can convert this into much, but what an incredible team fight from XL to be able to turn that one around. Fnatic, they found a crucial pick. They were able to punish Nukeduck and his commitment to using the ultimate in the bot lane, but then look at the response from XL.
And it finally looked like this was going to be the fight that brought Fnatic back into the game. If they pick up this victory, they pick up the Baron afterwards, and they're straight back into it. But look at Patrik in this fight. Look at this CC chain from Markoon. Upset trying to be the counter response instead. Wunder, if he'd made that cast, would have had it, but Patrik as well, he's held on to this for so long. And the big paranoia coming through. It's been 2013 since Nukeduck was back at that World Championship, but I can argue that this is the best year he's ever had in his career.
And the thing is, Upset committed his flash to getting a kill onto Mikyx, and in the moment it felt worth it, but in hindsight you can see that it just wasn't. He left himself exposed to the Nocturne, and the moment that Nukeduck arrived, he had his ultimate backed up and he was able to lock that rat down. Now XL find themselves with the Baron. They only need one more win to move forward, and here comes
The final
Upset.
chapter, not enough from Upset there. They look for the damage. The rest stats had the spray and pray, so also comes out. XL can look for the re-engage. What do we got in terms of ultimates? Markoon, no Glacial Prism, Patrik, no on the hunt, Wild Growth, and Slicing Maelstrom. No flashes across the board. Literally, no one has one in the game. We're going to see a battle of wits, a battle of punches and hits here in the river. Upset starting up that Cloud Soul. Nukeduck pushing in the mid lane. XL might make.
They're
just
giving
make
it
a
up
run.
again.
They
They're
know
saying
they've got the
they
Baron.
don't care.
Push in for double inhib, push in for double inhib. That's what they're going to do. No Baron empowered recalls on the side of Fnatic. 3 members just spent a while taking that. It's 8 seconds before they get back.
They need to be careful though, because when Upset comes around, he's coming out with Home Guards and the cat on top of him. He's actually going to...
Ooh, he stopped his recall. What are you doing? Oh, he's taking the scuttle crab.
Priorities, gentlemen.
I mean, the thing is, they're not pushing for second
Yeah,
inhib, so
exactly.
I think it's fine to stop at that point, but it's just a little bit of a funny one to watch. A little bit of extra gold in Upset's pocket as well.
Okay, so XL made the call. You know what? It's a Cloud Soul. We don't care. That's not going to be enough for Fnatic to be able to turn this game around. However, what it does bring to life is the Elder Dragon. And in 5.5 minutes time, that objective will be up and raring to go. That could be the deciding fight. Of course, XL still have the Baron for 1.5 minutes. They're grouping up in the bot lane. They've got Nukeduck catching mid. And they see Upset top lane. So they know they have time to siege onto this tier 2 unless Wunder can clear the wave.
Yeah, but now Cloud Drake on a Twitch when he ultimates. I don't know if you're familiar with space gliding, but you might be familiar with the term after this game is done once it finally opens up. Because this is going to be a lot of movement speed. Yes, of course, Nukeduck can persuade it with the paranoia coming through, but all eyes on Upset. If you are a Fnatic fan, it's going to come off. It's fine. It was coming off.
It's a hijacked ultimate, guys. He had to use it at some point. Markoon, though.
Good
Upset. Great Glacial Prism, as you say.
Trade of ultis here. They know that Upset now doesn't have that available. Markoon, well, he has invested it.
Good for Nukeduck in the mid lane.
Yeah.
He's being clapped on by
Good
Razork
spot
and
there,
Humanoid.
Medic, but it looks like Fnatic, they're going to disengage from that one. Humanoid looking for an ulti
Glacial Prism,
steal.
steal it away. Chuck it immediately onto Markoon. The Mikhail's coming out there, and Humanoid stunned by Finn across the wall. Nukeduck still pushing in the mid lane. He knows he can get the second inhibitor for free pretty much because Fnatic have to answer the super minions pushing in mid.
Track the flashes. We can see that Upset has his up very soon. Hylissang has both summoners available, which means the exhaust is there for Finn. This man is sitting at like 4, 1, and 5 right now, has the death gap complete, and can rip through the front line of Fnatic. Upset yet to have his ultimate come off cooldown. XL continue the siege with the Baron, only lasts 15 more seconds. I don't know if they can break into the base just yet, but they're gonna try.
Paranoia, final chapter onto the backline. Markoon is low. Stopwatch coming out from Humanoid. Mikyx on the front line though with the Wild Growth trying to keep himself alive. Patrik putting the damage down, but he's just sliced up by Humanoid. A great slicing match.
Patrik's still alive.
Humanoid almost down. Upset stepping forward though, and this is great for Fnatic. They find 3 kills so quickly. Patrik trying to put the damage down, but the GA will only bring him back in the midst of the enemy team. Nothing he can do to get out of this one. Fnatic find 4.
A massive team fight win for Fnatic, and they didn't even need Upset's ult to do it. Humanoid with the ulti steal from Nukeduck finds the engage onto the backline Markoon, and what looked like a good ultimate from Finn just wasn't good enough.
I think that's the big one as well there, Vedi. The fact that all of a sudden XL were the team that had to deal with the paranoia. They get split apart so easily. Markoon panic button immediately. Mikyx get caught up. He's forced to use the ultimate on himself, and when you don't have that for your teammates, it's just not going to be as vulnerable. Patrik gets caught in the middle by a great abduct by Humanoid coming through, and then Upset finally unleashing in the backline with the rest of Fnatic able to hammer down the rest of XL.
The front line just melts for XL, and Nukeduck not really having an opportunity to get involved in the fight is just a great play from Fnatic.
I expected them to be happier.
I mean, they seem pretty happy still.
Yeah, some XL fans there as well, and also, we said it was one team fight for XL to get to that Worlds qualification game. It's not that for Fnatic to get back into the series. It's a few team fights they've got to win. There's still a mid-tier 1, for goodness sake, that they have to get through. And yes, if they win a Baron fight, if they win an Elder fight, they are one step closer. They are raging against the dying of the light in this game, but it is still a long walk for them to even have a hope in this series.
See, Patrik has actually traded out his GA for a Bloodthirster. He wants that lifesteal, the shielding. He doesn't have a flash available, Upset does. Level 16 to level 15. Hylissang summoners have been used. These summoners are so crucial this late into the game. But the most important one being Finn does have his flash available. Who can he get on top of? Nukeduck in the bot lane, Finn in the top lane, Fnatic grouping up mid.
Oh, this might be a really bad call by Nukeduck. Razork is around Upset as well in the vicinity. He does have that teleport, but...
Paranoia popped. Razork looking for it. Nukeduck looking for that fear as well. Upset on his way, now spotted. Nukeduck trying to get away from this one. What are XL doing on the rest of the map? Well, Finn is pushing in the top lane as he tries to put some damage down. Ambush coming out from Upset will get the chase on. Nukeduck's going to try and turn it around with the fear, but Upset can just auto space away from that, and Nukeduck will fall. XL still looking for the inhibitor in the top lane. Can they get it in time, or will Fnatic be able to react quickly enough to defend their inhib? It looks like the inhib's gone, but the final chapter's coming out. Keeper's verdict as well. Final chapter's going to land 2 routes. Wunder coming from the side, has the flash, has the body slam, has everything he needs to get onto Mikyx. And now the chase continues. And Fnatic are looking for that hope, looking for the light, the last vestige for them. But they walked into Patrik, and Patrik is not yet dead. He finally falls. He was able to get 2. Finn and Markoon walking away wounded, trying to find some field hospital of hope. But Upset will take them.
Look at the death timers. Look at the death timers. Infernal Drake in 1 minute. Finn up in 1 minute. 40 seconds on Patrik. This setup here is going to get in favor of Fnatic. Yes, they have inhibitors down, but mid lane has just respawned. The only one they have to worry about is the top lane, and they'll have plenty of time to try and push it out. Wunder, when he respawns, has to teleport, and right now Baron is also available, so Fnatic, they might just have fought their way right back into this game.
Upset was unleashed in that fight, and he had to be, because things are looking dire. Markoon, though, where's the smite?
No.
Where's the smite?
Markoon can look for it, 5,000 HP still on Baron. Remember, if you're tanking Baron, you do 50% damage to it. Upset there, not even doing DPS to this Baron. Markoon can still look to get in. Upset forced away.
Hang on a
Paranoia
minute.
popped. They're looking for the TP into the Paranoia play. They're looking for damage here. Markoon going in. Nukeduck dives onto Humanoid, but Markoon's already dead. Nukeduck was there
New
too.
teleports.
TP now coming in. Fnatic can try and turn this one around. Counter Paranoia used. Flash away by Nukeduck. Fnatic able to hold on to something.
But now Markoon is dead for 40 seconds. All of Fnatic is now back up. Upset is to full HP. And this could be a window for Fnatic to get every objective on the map. But you have to keep your eyes on the top lane. Super minions are on the way to the base. Humanoid has gone to answer them. He has the teleport as well.
This game right now has just gone down to the wire. Baron didn't fall, but Infernal, or rather Elder, is on the cards here. 4 members of XL walk into the River of Death, and what will they be met by?
The waiting arms of Fnatic, the open jaws of the beast. TP coming in by Humanoid. XL start to disengage. Patrik now starting to step forward. Paranoia's TP in by Finn. He's looking for the back door. He's looking for something out of this. Can you get there quickly enough? The Elder taken. Of course, no empowered recourse. But he just goes up and Upset just opens up on a Mikyx. Mikyx able to get a bit of a shielding off, but it's not enough. Upset flashing forward. And you said he reminded you of Reckless. Well, Upset wins this one.
Upset with the massive triple kill to turn the game around. Fnatic, they're going to shut down Finn as well. Oh, Finn actually gets a kill, but the Elder should secure that one. And now Fnatic have members alive. They have a wave in mid lane, and it looks like Fnatic are not down and out just yet.
Markoon has the ultimate. The cleanses off QSS. There are some Mikyx available, so Markoon, it's going to be a really tough task to clear the mid lane wave. You have to sacrifice your life for it. You have to somehow trim it away, but no, actually, you know, Fnatic, they're not even going for it. They say, screw it, we have the Elder. We can get the Baron buff, and it'll be way more secure afterwards.
Upset turning back around. He will shred through Markoon. Markoon's very tanky, but Markoon able to dodge away time. What was that?
That was a single auto attack, Medic.
That's pretty darn high DPS there by Upset. Fnatic now going to secure the Baron as well. Still, of course, Super Minions pushing in that top lane for 2 minutes, but Baron remains on the cards for Fnatic, 1.5 minutes as well on their Elder. They can get this Baron, they can reset, and then they can push out with the double buffs for at least a short period of time.
Fnatic have done it. They have been able to find these windows where XL have fallen short. Upset has come up clutch once again. Humanoid has by far and away outscaled Nukeduck and is offering so much value on the Sylas as well. He has found some clutch plays, much needed plays for Fnatic. And now XL find themselves with their backs against the wall.
Okay, so we know it's probably going to come down to one last team fight, or multiple if they kept being, with only a few members falling in them. But one thing to take into account now is these flashes, right? Upset, his flash timer is not aligned with Finn's anymore. That means that they will have a moment where XL, they can strike before they'll have that flash for Upset. Crucially though, he has just picked up that GA, and should he go down, even Humanoid now has become a threat. He's level 18 on that Sylas. Items picked up, just a lot of damage in these instances too. And there's still that last item waiting to come through on Patrik, so there is a difference in the two carries.
Baron is up for another 2 minutes. The Dragon drops off in 10 seconds. Fnatic is looking to get as much as possible.
Helicopter comes out just short by Razork, 3 seconds on the Elder, and XL can now look for the re-engage.
Look at Kennen, look at Kennen.
Good position for the flank, getting off the back line, that's Paranoid. Immediately they dive onto the Twitch. Slicing Razork coming out as well, and they get into the GA. Patrik trying to open up onto Humanoid, Nukeduck on the back line, but that Twitch is going to come back alive. It's all on Patrik. Can he slice through Fnatic quickly enough? Humanoid healed up. Patrik stepping forward though, Nukeduck trying to get away towards the backside of the fight. Razork still on the chase, Upset there as well. Wunder doing what he can. Humanoid maybe looking for a re-engage. Nukeduck going to be chased out by Razork and by Hylissang. The fear going down. Nukeduck with a Dustbringer gets himself a little bit more movement speed. The Paranoid projectile block there as well. Another fear coming out. Razork able to dodge away and then back in, and Nukeduck will fall. Upset there with the rest of his team, and the Fnatic have been able to disengage. They got the inhibitor and they get everyone out.
It cost XL so much just to make that play, and what they get in the end, they only got the GA away from Upset. He's just sold that GA. He bought in the LDR now instead, so he just doesn't care about that. The damage will still come through from this Twitch, and just for them to be able to make this play again is going to be so hard, just due to the fact that Fnatic, the vision control was not even their favor here. Huge ultimate from Markoon.
What an impressive ultimate, and the follow-up immediately from Nukeduck. But the crucial thing is Finn committed the flash. A good Zhonya's comes through from him, but he then gets taken out of the fight immediately. Fnatic do everything in their power to peel for their AD carry, and while the GA does drop, that flash will no longer be available for the next fight.
Mickey, you're going to be okay by the turret just there. Looks like he was being caught for just a second. Now top lane inhibitor is down, and they will have to deal with those supers. Finn does have that teleport. I don't think he'll have to use it, as Fnatic, they're just going to be the team coming into XL's base here.
Pushing forward, Fnatic. They will be able to take this inhibitor pretty much for free. XL trying to defend, trying to find some way back. Of course, only game 3 of the series. This XL 2-0 up right now. Spot for world qualification on the line as Upset opens up. Spray and pray coming out good. Cleanse away, and Patrik ticking away, but it still have the GA. Nukeduck shielded just in time to keep him alive. And now the question is, can XL find something back out of this? Because that was just a spray and pray. That's all that was. Walking forward, menacingly, Upset continues to harass XL. Keep them pinned back in their base.
When you're fighting against a Twitch, it's come down to one thing. Is he the one opening up on you, or are you the one opening up on him? You need to shut him down before he gets to come into that spot where you're already too low HP to actually fight back. And that window you have, when he opens up, it's like half a second. Then your HP is already down to half HP.
You can feel the sigh of relief from the Fnatic fans.
Well, let's have a look how the Fnatic fans are thinking about this game right now. I hear we've got a little vote that's happening in Discord. You guys can vote in discord.lec.gg. There is a bit of a sigh of relief. I agree with you, Betty.
FNC or XL, who will win this game? Of course, Patrik is the man you have to keep your eyes on.
Got the GA now.
He's actually sold the Bloodthirster, gone for the LDR instead. He does, of course, have the GA.
Wow.
Oh, it's close.
I mean, that's a lot more XL favorite than I thought it would be.
With the position Fnatic is in, this looks like it's their game to lose. But the TP flank,
Upset is isolated.
Upset isn't with the team. Finn coming in with that slicing Maelstrom, looking for Wunder as well, but Upset can join this quite late. Paranoia coming out, Upset. Look at the positioning of Upset. He can just open up on the sideline. Immediately, Markoon, that was bloody gorgeous. Patrik Patrik's still alive! The GA will be popped, but XL are gonna win the fight! Markoon, take a bow! You beautiful man! Immediately locks up the Twitch and locks XL a spot in the second round!
I can't believe he's just done that, dude. Nukeduck's gonna defend the base, he still has to teleport. Wunder's gonna be backing and they're still looking. Razork the stun, can they get him here?
Markoon still on the chase, Razork with a lot of movement speed through that base rush. Patrik, there's no minion wave really apart from this cannon. They're gonna TP in. Wunder, Hylissang and Razork against the world, against all of XL to try and hold on to some small bit of hope in this game. The cannon minion gonna be cleaned out. Wunder trying to step forward, but Patrik's doing exactly the same. The knockdown.
Patrik's in! Wunder! What's happening?
Wunder!
Wunder was able to do it! Wunder was able to find the kill on the Patrik! Mikyx will also die! Wait a goddamn minute! Fnatic have held the line, and XL will fall short!
And now the Elder Drake is alive as well. Upset has just respawned XL. They could have gone for the Elder instead. They wanted the victory after a tense moment. Wunder's TPing to top now instead. What?
Unbelievable! Markoon with the hero engage onto Upset was able to win the fight, but then Wunder does one better, and can he now secure the win for Fnatic?
Been trying to survive, they're trying to keep these Nexus towers alive. Humanoid locked up underneath the tower. Stopwatch just in time. That final shot might have been enough. The slicing master coming in as well. Markoon trying to defend. Wunder's going to fall low. He will fall to those Nexus towers. But his
Wait, they
team
got the wave.
will
They got the
clean them up.
minions.
They got the wave, but Upset's walking in. There's double supers in the bottom lane. There's no way that XL can do anything about it. The Fnatic faithful had to have some pretty damn big hope for this one. But Fnatic keep the series alive.
I thought that XL had done it. Markoon and Patrik in that final fight were in a level that you can't even comprehend. And then Wunder with a single barrel completely turns it around. We're going to game 4. This series isn't over yet.
I wish Trevor hadn't used all the swear words on day one, because that deserved one. Holy moly, what a game, what a series we have. It looked like Fnatic were done and buried. Dusted, put in the ground, they're eulogy ridden, but they are not having any of that. We're going to game 4, and what a series it has been so far.
What an incredible turnaround. We talked so much about Upset being the carry, and we thought that the moment that he dropped, that would be it. It would be, they would be done. Who would have thought that it would be Wunder's Gragas?
I mean, there's multiple things to highlight in that game alone. XL's early game, Fnatic coming back into it. The Markoon ultimate was pixel perfect on the Twitch opening up, where it looked like Upset was just going to take in the entire fight. And
yeah,
I'm glad we have an analyst there.
Yeah, so am I, mostly because I need a break. What a game that was. What a performance that was by both teams as well. It looked like XL had it, but they couldn't quite lock it in. Fnatic stay alive in this series, and we'll see if they can continue to stay alive across the course of the next couple of games. It has been 6 years since Fnatic got locked out in the first round. That was H2K a long time ago, and after that crazy comeback, we're going to a game 4. Let's send it over to the analyst desk to break down the game. Whew.
Yeah, you do deserve a break. Oh, I feel like you've been yelling for the last 5 minutes because it just didn't stop. I requested at the last minute to get that base defense, and once it's ready, we'll show it again. But I want to go to you, Trouble, because I asked you guys to outline if Fnatic is going to make this run back. Where can they look to go? You said Wunder, his Gragas, that could be an avenue. Oh my God.
I said Twitch and I said Gragas, and they locked in Twitch and Gragas, but oh my God, the fact that that last Gragas cask was the thing that allowed Fnatic a second chance to that best of 5 was absolutely insane. Mind you, Upset, the AD carry, the hyper carry, the thing they relied on in this game was dead here. And this cask right here, catching Patrik, combined with Razork's dash towards the tower, was what not only saved Fnatic in this game, but also gave them a second chance.
I can't even believe that Fnatic actually turned this around. I'm still sitting here just thinking, like, how was that game not over? How did they do it? And it was just a mix of XL overstepping, making so many individual mistakes, macro mistakes, and then Fnatic just capitalizing on it, actually coming together as a team and finally playing as a unit when it really mattered.
I think at a lot of moments, right, when it had to be split-second decision-making. In the green room, when XL was so far ahead, Trouble, you said they're so far ahead, no way they throw this.
I said it's unlosable.
You said, how did they lose this? And I said, this is exactly how, if they also believe that it is unthrowable, and if they start to step forward a little too much, if they become a little bit too greedy for those inhibitors, and that's what happened.
I just felt like you saw the damage that Finn was able to dish out 45k. You use the Kennen on your flank, you use the Sivir on the front to back, keep team fighting Fnatic to your victory. They kept greedy into like side lane take inhibitors, take inhibitor towers, to the point where actually cashing in a few shutdowns onto your Twitch, then suddenly he becomes an absolute menace. And I think it all comes down to the draft. It all comes down to where Fnatic actually changed things on blue side, taking Mikyx's Yuumi off of him and allowing this time Upset to be the carry with the Yuumi on top of him. I think it was huge for the fact that they were blue side, and if they will continue doing this, and if Fnatic end up on blue side again, I think taking away the Yuumi might be something that we'll be looking into.
I think from here on out, it's going to be all about the mental game, because there's a lot of reasons to be excited right now as a Fnatic fan. But truth is that Fnatic got stomped in early game.
Again.
3 games in a row. This was Excel's game to win. Excel decided to give them a freebie, to hand it over. And now, you know, they're still going to have to step it up in the next one, because Excel hopefully wouldn't be making similar mistakes in the game 4.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the comeback fights, you know, how it happened. And I agree with you, Broxah. We need to keep track of this, that it still didn't go well for Fnatic in the early game. Hence, comeback fights. And there were a lot of them here with the stolen Nocturne also.
Yeah, and as you can see, they get straight onto the backline, and they're actually, if you see throughout the entire fight, they have their sights onto Patrik. They're trying to kill Patrik. They're trying to get him out of the picture. Big cask ult from Wunder again, splitting up the fight, not allowing Patrik to play the front to back with his beefy tanks. And this is the good thing about the Rat when you have a Yuumi, the fact that you don't necessarily have to go for these cheeky fights. You can play the front to back, you can kill the tanks first, and then you move into the backline.
We're going to immediately take a look at the 36-minute fight as well, because it kept going. And yeah, Broxah, as Trouble said, the Twitch was huge, and Upset really didn't want to lose.
Oh, for sure. Like, the Twitch Yuumi made such a big difference in this game, and I think you have to give credit to, you know, Upset for this Twitch performance, because he was absolutely massive on this pick. He dished out all the damage for Fnatic side, and, you know, it was a good combination of him just being so clean on the Twitch, as well as, you know, his team actually, for once, setting him up for success and helping their AD carry shine.
I've heard you say now a couple of times, finally, I feel like they're doing things together. And mind you, not to say this was a perfect performance, otherwise you don't have to come back, right? So where do we end up now from the two sides? Because on the one side, huge momentum swing. On the other, though, Trouble, Excel is probably going to have a great early game again in game 4.
And I'm thinking now that Excel have the choice to select their sides, they might as well just take the blue, which is the one they want, and force Fnatic possibly into different bans. And here come the mind games again. What do Fnatic ban away? What do they counterpick with? Who do you give your counterpick to? Because I feel like Humanoid hasn't had one of the best performances we've ever seen. He has been a little bit on the low profile, if you will, whilst Wunder in the top side, he has been absolutely stellar. But he's also been on these scaling AP picks like the Sivana, the Gwen, now the Gragas. So do you give your counter pick for that? Do you wait to see what they're going to pick as AD carry for the side of
Those are
Excel?
the questions, but since you're an analyst, what do you want to see? Trouble.
Oh, yeah. I would actually want to see again hyper carry for the side of Fnatic. I think keep it simple, front to back, get your tanks, get your engages, upset on a hyper carry. Doesn't matter if it's Yuumi next to him or Lulu or Soraka, doesn't matter. Just get him on a hyper carry, get the Hylissang onto an enchanter, and just play the front to back. Very simple.
Well, personally, I'm really excited to see how this draft develops, because if I am on Excel, even though I lost this game, I would feel really comfortable and confident, because they've literally outdrafted Fnatic 3 games in a row. They won every early game, they won every mid game, and it just comes down to actually, you know, not getting over eager. I like, it was so clear in this game. The players just thought it was over, and they just started getting unfocused as a result of that. You can't let that happen again. But outside of that, I think Excel have shown that they're coming in really prepared, and now it's just up to them to, you know, bring us an exciting draft, catch Fnatic off guard, because they can do whatever they want, and Fnatic haven't been prepared so far.
There's nothing to indicate that Excel would now be off their rocker and not able to kind of come back in the series with the confidence that they've shown throughout this. But, you know, I can't help but wonder, it's a very Fnatic-esque thing to get going, and you can't let that drive you crazy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I want to give us a bit of a flashback back to the Vitality game in week 8, where literally Upset gets the Zerrin. He won V9's for Fnatic 2 victory, right? And I think this was a very similar performance right here in the tweets, finding the flanks, finding the moments where he opens fire in the game to get these kills and carry his team to that late game where they won.
Yes, let's see what happens. And as we go to break, a very fitting Warner song of the week, I'm Good, for now at least for the Fnatic fans, by David Guetta and Bibirexa, available on the official LEC playlist on Spotify. And we will be right back for Game 4.